Well, welcome to another edition of the Motley Croc Show. It is Tuesday, the 1st of March. I have Jimmy Riffle and the Croc Father with us both. We are on in a moment, and I believe we have somebody knocking in the back room there. I got another green room. Bam! Right there. What's going on?
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
So what's going on? I just what now? Tell me what you look like. You're having a good time tonight, Joe.
A little bit.
What'd you call it? White alien fire? I know it's good stuff. Be careful. I'll tell everybody where you got that from.
Alien. That's not what I called it.
I don't remember what it was, but it was good stuff. Yeah, I was pretty flying last night, man, but that was good food. So Joe stopped by last night. He brought us some really good steaks, and we kind of sat out the tiki bar and talked and smoked a plethora of different fun things. And it was good stuff. Are you wearing a fucking Wu-Tang shirt, bro?
I am.
Damn it, bro. I haven't seen the Wu-Tang Clan. That shit's... Wow, you're bringing up the classic. Well, now everybody knows how old you are.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Jimmy, how's it been, man? How's the fair?
It was good. It was good. It was busy. We were busy. I saw some familiar faces. Actually, every one of you guys was at the fair. So it was awesome. It was awesome. You guys came out to see Sarah and I, and we had a lot of fans come out. So it was a really good event. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I had a good time visiting you.
Yeah, I
think Kim came down from Alabama Slamma. Brittany was there a little bit, I think, with the Squatch. She brought the Sasquatch and her.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, John and Justin are like fucking phone poles, man.
I said if I couldn't find Bigfoot yet, then I'll just marry one. It's close enough.
I don't think you'll find a costume big enough for him to wear, honestly.
No,
probably
she
not.
did. Yes, you did. You sent us the picture.
Oh my god. That was so great. Finn was like, no, that's daddy's shirt. That's your shirt. And John was like, I don't think it's going to fit me, buddy. And then like the next thing I knew, John's in the kitchen and he's like stretching it on. And I just see Jimmy's face getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he already ballooned his face a little bit on that shirt, kind of cartoony anyway. So it was like really good by the time John.
It was nice.
Oh my god, it was so hilarious.
You looked like you were holding the hatch.
Finn was like, yeah.
It was good. It was good.
I had a good time there. It was fun. There was a lot of interesting people there in Ocala.
I agree. Yep.
For the most part, everybody has a pretty good time, but there's a mix of people. When it's the rural United States, it's just so different. It's so different, man. I bet
Definitely an experience for my sister and Patrick. I can tell you that right now.
Coming from New York, I'm sure.
Well, fairs,
they probably thought they were going to get
definitely bring people from everywhere. I mean, it's you definitely, if people like people watching, those are the events to go to. So
I'll tell you, man, I been to a lot of really awesome fairs with Jimmy. I will say that. And in my lifetime, I've been to some fairs, and I never was a big fan. But I'll tell you, one of the cleanest fairs I've ever been to was the Ohio State Fair.
Yes.
That you and I worked where the tractors were there, and they had all the big equipment, and the Ohio State Fair, whatever we did, it was just really cool, it was totally different kind of clientele, like farmers and stuff, millionaire farmers. And there was like those Kubotas and John Deere's, and I was really impressed, dude. Like it was, when we would walk back for the truck, they're like $100,000 trucks and Bugattis and fancy cars, because the moms always drive the Porsche SUVs and stuff. But it was interesting, and the best fair was the San Antonio, hands down.
Yeah, that was
me, you, and Leonard on that one.
Well, we had longer. It was an 18-day fair, so we were there like 3 days prior, and then a couple days after, or the day after. So you figure we were there for 24 days, 25 days.
Full month, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Me and Jimmy and the owl.
Yes.
Crazy.
Across the room.
Running down the room. You're like, come on, feed him no more, man. Yeah. He was awesome. He'd spend all day at the fair with me. He would just sit up and do his thing, and we just put him to bed at night. He would hang out a little bit in the hotel room with us, and he put him to bed. He was great. He was great to travel with, man. He was awesome.
Yeah, I kept my feet off the ground. That's all I could say, because he would be like this, and then all of a sudden, all you would hear is his talent on the floor. Yeah. And Brad came in that night, and Brad, remember Brad was having a ball watching him run across. And needless to say, when he ate the rat, we had this amazing painting on the wall every night. So it was
he would throw he won't eat the intestines. He always throws them out. He picks them up.
It was good.
No rat intestines for him.
Yeah,
he always pulled the head off though.
Yep.
But he likes it. It's tasty to him, though. You know what I mean?
I don't need to know anymore.
Tasty. Hey man, they got to eat too, B.
I know. I just realized I'm the only one without a hat on. Like I didn't get the memo. Thanks, guys.
Well, normally you have your Bigfoot hat. I always wear them. It's just like my thing.
I know.
I think hat's the best way to.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no! Well, you and Brittany now. You guys are the same. You need some bangs.
All right, there we go.
Here, I'll feather mine back. There you go.
I feel like now I got to brush it, but there you go. Now
you can't really. It looks
Jimmy
good.
He looks like a rock star. Look at him. Yeah. He looks like a hairband rock star. Look at that. He should wear it down more.
Well,
he never does.
Never.
Well,
no, he's. I like. It's the same as I do. I keep the beard tied up. It just gets in your way. You just want to have it when you want to have it.
I have literally only seen it down probably twice in the few years that I've known Jimmy.
I've seen it down every night when we stayed together, and he'd come out of the shower and he treated it. He would comb it, dude.
I did.
He took really good care of it, man. He did. He takes more care of his hair than women do, man. Don't you kid yourself.
Even when we were in St. Augustine, he's like, I'm going to go take a shower, guys. And I thought, oh, he'll probably come out with his hair down. No, he comes into the room to come sit and chat with us, and it's already slicked back in a ponytail for the night. Ready to go. I thought for sure he was going to come in to hang out with his hair down. Like, just take the bun down for one night, Jim. Just take it down. Just go loose for one night.
Not even here. As soon as I get out, I dry it, and then I put it up under the hat. And I ball it up, and you don't ever see it. So
it's funny.
Yeah, there was a song about that. It's called Signs. What's up, Jeff? I'm going to run through a couple comments real quick, if you guys can see them. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, Judy. What's going on? Let's see. We got Dan. Dan, I hope you're feeling better. What's up, Heidi? Sorry, I couldn't be there Sunday, Troy. I caught the vid. Oh, you caught the vid. Well, I hope you're okay, bro. Hope you're okay. Oh my God, Marissa. Oh no, I'm gonna have to send something to you. I'll bring your ass on here in just a minute. Always. She's in Cali. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Man, we got a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Jimmy should get an electric guitar and rock out. He probably does.
I'm telling you. Finn's got one you can borrow.
I've never seen Jimmy without a hat. Yep. Sometimes he lets it down like Jesus. What's up, Corey? That's Jesus number 2 right there. That's Corey, ladies and gentlemen. He looks just like Jesus. Dan, I'm going mental. God. I can't leave the damn house. I know you're a fruit like that. I know you are. So did you, Troy, when your hair was long? You had so did you know, Troy, when your hair was
That's Troy. That's true. When you had really long hair, you had a lot of products. You took very good care of your hair.
Yeah.
You knew what to buy. Troy always had long hair until
I saw the photos. Your hair was very long, Troy.
Yeah, but not like you, Jimmy. It's just like it gets like to a point where you're like, man, I don't remember what I was doing. I think what happened was I ended up going to work for SeaWorld and they made me cut it off as a diver. And then that was that.
But he used to have it. It was very long.
That's when I did it. When I left Medieval Times.
Let me tell you something.
It was in the early 2000s, I think, when I cut it off.
He knew how to flip his hair when he worked at Medieval Times and the ladies would all go nuts. But you should have been there.
Hey man, it was great. You have to do that. That's why Jimmy does that in the photos. You ever see him? He goes.
It was awesome.
You have to. That's like you have to do that.
I know. I remember that to this day. I remember that. I mean, the girls would just go nuts. You actually got in trouble. They used to tell you
the Brazilian girls because they don't see guys like me and Jeremy and the most different.
No, and they used to tell Troy like, we need to keep you guys behind the curtain for a little while because the girls are going nuts and your hair's down and stuff. Because sometimes like after the show, the Knights would come out, and do the meet and greet. Man, they would go nuts. It was so funny. I'm thinking, that's my brother. You girls are crazy.
What's up, Cody?
God.
Marissa, I'm in a lab looking at Croc and Fertilance parasites.
Ooh,
well,
fun.
Some people have fun doing some things. I mean,
she's a hoot. I love Marissa.
Oh my God.
You're just saying that because you're on the air.
No, we talk almost daily. Like we'll send each other videos.
Oh, God,
we laugh.
do you?
Yeah, she's fun.
Man.
She's a hoot and a half, let me tell you. She's
got a lot of energy.
Awesome.
Oh God, I think I see her in the back room. She's got a mask on. Hold on, she better take that off. What's up?
There she is.
So you're doing doctor stuff? We get to see doctor stuff. So I'm going to go back to the comments in a minute, but for right now, let's see what Marissa's doing. Oh my God, look at the doctor lab. Is this in California?
I know. Yes, this is at UC Santa Barbara.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm looking at croc parasites and fertilance parasites. So
Jimmy just likes to look at fertilance.
It looks like we have a new species of lung parasites in crocodiles. So excited.
Is that a good thing to be excited for the crocodiles? Is that good for them? That's that's cancer for everybody. I'm so excited. We get to die in different ways. No, seriously. What is
Troy? No, I mean Troy. I could name this parasite after you. Wouldn't you?
No, that would be good.
Named after you? Yeah.
It should be. You got to name it after you, so it's in the book. So because that's what you academians do. You like your names and stuff like that.
No, I don't.
So 100 years ago, this is the parasite Tellez. I know how it's spelt, but it's Tellez. Like why we have a Mexican crocodile named Morletta? Isn't that kind of like an Italian-Mexican hybrid thing?
It's French. What is it? And Morlaix. It's Morlaix. That's how you.
Isn't that what they ask for when you get off the plane in Hawaii?
Morlaix.
I do want to get Morlaix.
I'm sure.
Oh man, Marissa.
It's
early out there. What you talking about? Good night. Talking that early about that stuff.
I was just talking about a crocodile. That's all.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
Yeah. So back to your parasites.
As I'm eating. So this is what's super, super interesting. So these parasites came from a yearling crocodile found in the wild. And it was the one that we named Ricky Bobby because when I saw it, I was like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. I mean, you have this little crocodile, scoliosis. I mean, it looked like it was somebody's pet, right? It looked like it had metabolic bone disease. And so I just kind of was like, all right, we had a croc previously. Troy met him, Crocodile Rick.
Yeah, I remember scoliosis.
And he was someone's pet. But this animal was found in the wild. And I'm like, we're trying to get all this information because we did find it with another yearling that was perfectly healthy. So, I didn't notice Ricky Bobby basked a lot. And crocodiles and, as well as reptiles, they will bask a lot to rev up that immune system to try to fight any infection that they have. And so I noticed that and finally, came back after trying to catch a crocodile that had been habituated. Someone was trying to feed it, come back and Ricky Bobby was dead. And I'm thinking I did something to it. But when we opened Ricky Bobby up, her lungs were full of parasites, like full of these pentostomids. And then we found some worms, some nematodes in the stomach. There's like only 2. That wouldn't have done anything. But literally, like this crocodile, I'm shocked it was even able to breathe. The parasites were so big, and this is just a tiny little crocodile. So parasites absorb nutrients from its host. So long story short, because pentostomids are the only true parasites of crocodiles. So I'm thinking these parasites caused metabolic bone disease / the scoliosis that we found in Ricky Bobby, which is really like unheard of. Most people they think of metabolic bone disease, poor husbandry and all that, but the parasites possibly parasites could also lead to metabolic bone disease. So it's just like, I'm excited.
Wow. So is that natural or is that something introduced by somebody bringing something else in? I mean,
no, it's natural because the intermediate host is fish. And so, this little guy was eating fish and I studied the pentostomids in alligators during my PhD. And here's something else that I'm super excited about. And I feel Troy is going to make some type of comment about it.
I will not.
We'll see. So I have had a hypothesis. I've had a theory that yes, pentostomids are the true parasites of crocodiles, but it's the female It's the female pentastomats that are the true parasites. The males are free living, and when it's time to mate, they somehow get in the alligator or the crocodile's system, mate with the females, and either die in the lungs or somehow are able to disperse out, because all I ever find are female parasites. So I think it's only.
Wow.
I won't comment.
Me too, Joe. Oh my god.
So yeah,
no, that's good though. That's interesting though, because there's a lot. There's a lot to that. I mean, it's kind of like anacondas do that. The big females lay around, they fuck all day, they eat 2 males, and then lay there until they give birth. Some lazy shit right there. That. Tell you what. Can you imagine that? I'll just eat 2 of you.
I'll just eat 2 of you. Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's similar. That's like that too. That's like that, Brittany. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
so
that's
when
crazy.
They say that they're running all over the Everglades, it never ceases to amaze me that that's just not true.
Yeah,
So, do you have any invasive species in your country of beliefs that has been introduced from somewhere recently? Kind of like Florida has a couple.
Just a couple.
Oh shit.
We have no invasive species. Oh, red ear sliders. That's pretty much.
Yeah,
it.
I guess if I was having
we don't have any of those.
I'd want to be a red-eared slider because those things they are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like
I do
a
love
cockroach.
red-eared sliders.
They never die, and they just keep multiplying.
Yeah.
I love those stand turtles. They're so great.
It really is. It's like,
don't you have Hecate there?
we have Hecate, but they're native.
Are they almost
not
all the way gone?
They're almost, yeah, they pretty much are being eaten to extinction right now.
Oh wow.
Well,
Well,
but
there's
there
a lot
is,
of assurance colony. I see them all over the place.
you see the Hecate all over the place?
Yeah, people bring them here. There's people have them in private collections, and yeah, there's been quite a few of them. Like back in the 70s that were brought in 80s, they were bringing them back here.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple people we knew personally brought some back, and I think that there is some assurance colony.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. There's some assurance colonies around, so I mean, at least they won't go away forever. But probably where you are, you think they'll ever be able to reintroduce?
So there is a breeding program happening right now in Belize through Be Free, but I don't know when they're going to release them. Like I know that they're breeding successfully right now at the facility, but when they're going to be able to release them back out in the wild, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Dude, those things they're really cool though.
Yeah, they're super cool. But yeah, other than that, like I can't. Red ear sliders are the only invasive because of agriculture and like deforestation. We're starting to get coyotes in Belize. So there's that question: are they invasive? But it's like they're just naturally dispersing. So it's just one of those things. People are like, do we kill them because they're invasive? But at the same time, it's not like someone brought them there. It's just that they're dispersing. Because of
but see, people get really people get way involved in shit like that, and I mean we're invasive. Think about that. I mean we're invasive, but animals have been coming to different continents and making it over in different ways. I mean, the mouse lemur getting stuck on some floating log and then turning out that in Madagascar, having hundreds of lemurs. I mean, Galapagos related to the Chaco, things like that.
Yeah,
we've had. I mean, all those little brown, Florida is never supposed to have any of those little brown anoles. Those are not natural to us. They weren't. Those are invasive too. We had the green anole here, but now we have like the Cuban night anole and things like that. But that stuff was coming over naturally. I mean, those things can get on something from a storm and get here.
Yep.
They try to make it like, well, that's invasive, but is it invasive or is it then become natural? And then how long does something have to exist in the area that it's in before it becomes native to the area? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's like they tell you.
I've been seen here since the 60s. Like, so cars become classic collector cars at 20 years old. And how long before it's not an invasive anymore?
Well, like even the Cuban tree frogs here. I mean, they tell you if you find them that you should, do the right thing, or they say in Florida or whatever, because they're eating the local tree frogs, the little green guys. But I love all frogs. So for me, I'm like, I can't do it. Right. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. I don't care who's listening, and it might upset you. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And I think they know it because every house I've moved to, I now have huge colonies of Cuban tree frogs, and I love them to pieces. And I do. I go out. I'm like, "What's up, guys?" And they jump, or I'll hold them. Like, I can't do it. I can't. I love them all.
Yeah, nobody wants to kill anything. I understand.
They don't bother me.
To me is we always complain about, oh, well, tegus are doing this or that or whatever. I could take or leave a tegu, honestly. But, and everybody always says it, and you hear it a lot. People say cats.
Yeah.
I see them all the time. They kill everything, and that's an invasive species.
Absolutely.
I remember reading an article like in the 70s when they started getting all those cats in Haiti, and then the Lewisii iguana, the cyclura, was becoming fragile because of the cats. So people would have to start hunting cats there. So they would platoon out at night and start shooting them, and people were in an uproar. But they were eating all the baby Lewisii, the little cyclura, not the Lewisii, the Cornuta, the rhino iguanas. They were almost wiping those completely out in Haiti.
I mean, same thing happened in Dominican Republic. Even just when I was in DR this past June, I mean, one of the issues of the recovery of the rhino iguana as well as the American croc there is because all the cats are predating on the hatchlings and yearlings. And so they have done a really good program in trapping the cats. What they do with them, who knows? I'm not asking, but I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Cats are.
It doesn't matter if you're going to
issue.
stomp on a frog, you can stomp on a cat. I don't understand how people take and differentiate between two things. Like, I mean, you have to understand that it's all a living thing. Your vessel is your vessel, man. It's just funny how people can demonize something for something else.
These animals that get demonized get the shit end of the stick, and that's not the cool. And and that's fucked up because if a cat's like you said, the cat, you don't see no one fucking shooting it with a BB gun or go out and kill it. But an iguana, you can go out there and shoot it with a BB gun and kill it, and that's okay. That's ridiculous.
Or cook them alive on YouTube channels now.
Yeah. I mean, it's bullshit that they.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, they do that. They show you how to cook them. They cook them live. They'll throw them in live like a lobster, boil them up.
Oh God, no.
But
there's a couple of clowns. There's a couple of clowns down south that do that. They'll catch up a couple babies and then they feed it off to something else and stuff. And I don't do live feeding, so that's not my thing. But
that's terrible.
I don't like to kill like that, but I understand the circle of life. So someone goes, "Well, it's the circle of life." You getting an erection over throwing a little living thing into something else is not the circle of life. That's just you being
exactly.
But
that is not circle of life.
So a lot of things suffer, and here we are because I got the meetings. We'll be at the FWC meetings tomorrow in Tampa, but now it's going to be a tit for tat thing. Like, and we want to be able to let people touch the large constrictors again. Taking that away from kids was pretty shitty, actually. So they're going to revisit that, and then they want to ban all exotic animals altogether. So there's so much going on now. Everything they want to ban it all. So
that makes me so mad.
Even from so
I
in
lost
Belize,
you,
right?
Marissa. Can anybody hear Marissa?
Yeah.
You can't hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear.
Okay. I was gonna say, like in Belize, right? Like you can't have any wildlife as a pet. There is some stuff grandfathered in, but overall, Florida, like. I just feel that's just been such a big part of the culture. Like just to all of a sudden say ban all exotics, like when you have millions of people possibly with exotics, like how do you control that and stop that? Like I don't understand how that.
But let's not even talk about how everyone have these. Let's talk about all the professionals though that have put their time and blood and sweat and money into learning about these animals the proper way, and they're taking away our rights, and this is our livelihood. And I understand. I'm not knocking anybody that owns these animals personally as a pet because they deserve to be able to own those animals. But when the prohibited permit, I only got red-eared sliders as an endorsement because I didn't have them at the time. And I find that ridiculous that I can't get those animals anymore because of that. So
especially for a facility too. But
exactly.
You might have to revisit that, but I get it. I get it. It's weird. Marissa, it's like saying, well, we're sorry. We know what you went to school for, but you're not allowed to work with crocodiles anymore. The new law is we have to leave them alone. Whatever happens, happens. And you're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But my problem is though, is that, and this might be a little abrasive, and if it is for people, I don't care. I'm sorry. We have people that are sitting up there that have no idea what they're talking about, right? They're not in the animal field, in the animal community. They're not in these facilities. They're not working zoological parks. They're not knowing these people personally. Know these animals are more than just a pet. They're their family. And they are these people that are sitting up on like this hierarchy telling what they're going to do and take away from you. Well, they wouldn't like it if we come in their home and say, well, we're just going to come in and take the kids away from you because all of a sudden we just don't think you should have them, period. And I just don't think that. I think they need to be more educated and maybe put their feet in the place of these facilities or the professionals that have these animals and actually see that everything is going accurately and professionally. There's all these cautionary things being taken. Everybody's doing the right steps. And then go to the places that maybe aren't, that maybe have some dangerous situations that could take place or unfold. And they say, we're giving you a certain amount of time to get this done. Don't restrict everything just because somebody says, I'm worried this iguana is going to eat my kitty. But I just get really upset. I get really heated because I wouldn't want someone coming into my home and taking my animals when they don't know what they're talking about.
Listen. They're never going to learn it. You have to sit through them enough and you have to understand behavior all the way across the board. So you have human rights activists, you have animal rights activists, you have religious fanatics, whatever. So right now we have animal rights activists, okay? And they're heavily funded because, you're sitting home at night and then all of a sudden this commercial comes on, in the arms of an angel, little dog. And they're like, oh my God, they're sending in checks. And what they do is, these legislators, they don't really care. And I mean, they really don't. They've got, they're killing the whole ecosystem with battery operated cars and fucking infrared turbo grills in their backyard and boats with 15 fucking 250 horse motors on them. Think about it for a minute. Okay. So they're just funding. It's all funding. They don't really care because it's not hurting anything. We're just an easy target to get a bunch of publicity. They get the animal rights activists off their back, yada, yada, yada. It really doesn't have anything to do with them caring or not caring about. Because
it's ridiculous.
There's things that are going on right now we don't care about. Like people right now don't care what I do or what you do, Brittany, or what Marissa's the work she's putting in with crocodiles. They're like, ew, who would do that? Those things are disgusting anyways. I'd kill them all. How many times I hear that?
That's true.
I know.
They'll walk right up and look at Dominic, the coolest croc on the planet, and I go, dude, who would want to keep something like that around? It's so fucking ugly. And in a perfect world, I just want to go. And every time I stop, I'm going to grease up a big bat and I'm going to beat the fuck out of that person. Start time and go, what happened? Oh my God, you were just standing there. Man, you want to kill them. It's disgusting the way people talk about animals. It's disgusting. Why do you pay a ticket and go to a zoo and do that?
Yeah, that's awful. Why did you even go?
So they can go, oh my God, it's taped. You have no idea, man. You have no idea how the person I am in my own stuff. When I'm working on the facility, I have to be professional. But to do that, I think it's about you. You're forcing your Weasley little agenda on us is what you're doing when you say that. You want attention. That's the only reason you say it. You know what I mean? If something bothers you, you speak about it because you want attention to it, right? I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Would you say something like that? No.
I like to call those people like, well, because I hear it more on the conservation end.
I'm sure
the best was when I was living in Seattle for a bit. And everyone was telling me how to solve conservation in these tropical regions and all that. And I was like, have you ever been to Central America? Have you ever, in these regions, Southeast Asia, Africa, Indonesia? And they're just, and they had no, they're like, no. But they're telling me someone that's on the boots on the ground on how to solve conservation. So I've just named them couch conservationists. Because they're just, watching something on TV and they think that they have the answers without ever setting foot in some of these areas and actually seeing the struggles that's happening. And I mean, you can also just kind of translate that to like the couch activists, right? So they just have no idea.
Yeah, couch activists. One thing good about Seattle is the suicide capital. Maybe more people should move there.
Oh my God. Wow.
Hey, you know what, dude? We're on the Motley Croc show and we say what we want. I'm going through the comments and posting them for y'all. You guys don't have to.
You get a lot of computer bullies. You know, they think they know so much because they read stuff online that they think automatically now all of a sudden they know everything about it. You know, I mean, there's going to be people that are going to, you know, friggin' message Marissa and be like, well, I read online on Wikipedia the parasite. Well, and it's like, first of all, Wikipedia is made by everybody. Anybody could type in and edit Wikipedia at any moment. Just so we're all clear. It's fake news. Hello.
How could you be a crocodile conservationist and keep one in there like that and throw a chicken at it and shake a stick at it? That's what Marissa does. She fucks with a blind croc.
Yep.
On video, she tortures it. I like to use the word torture, guys, because that's the new animal rights word. Torture and abuse. That's their words. You know, if you tape an alligator's mouth, it's torture. Listen, there's no law in the state of Florida to tape the mouth. I would never tape the alligator's mouth. When we take Brian's alligator out, I would never tape it. People throw a temper tantrum if it's not. Is it safe? Safer than you are. The only snakes we got around here have arms and legs. And to say it all would never tap in the first place. I just wouldn't do it.
Well, that's why, I mean, like, I know this is kind of like random, but this is why I used to get really mad, right? So, like, the difference between rats and hamsters, okay, for me, like, I love them both, but I'm a rat fan versus a hamster. Hamsters are mean. They'll bite over everything. They kill their young. They're malicious. They eat them. Like, I cannot stand hamsters. Like, and we've raised them. We had rats. People immediately think like New York rats. They're dirty, they're slimy, they go through the sewers, but that's not true. Like rats are super intelligent, they're very clean, but people see their tail and immediately go, oh my God, I'm not owning that because it scares me because the tail and the way the tail is. But every pet rat I've ever owned has been one of the best rodent type pets I've ever had, hands down. I mean, I can't stand hamsters. I'm sorry for all you hamster lovers. Praise you all for you having them.
So just imagine.
Don't like them, and I always am trying
to
help.
How awesome, Brittany, would it be for a crocodile to have hair?
It would be amazing.
Well, imagine it look like Melissa's hair. Just wild.
Everybody would care then.
Yep. Then everybody would want it around.
Everybody would.
People don't like possums because they don't have hair on their tail.
Yep.
Exactly. Why? And possums are amazing.
Women. It's usually women. I don't understand why they wouldn't. Something looks long with no hair on it. Why they wouldn't like it? Makes no
sense. So wrong.
But I'm serious. People don't like possums because then that's not even a rodent. You know, I tell people, well, that's like a kangaroo. What are you talking about? They're like, that thing's disgusting. It looks like a rat. Rats got a bad name because throughout time, think about it, all that preaching about bubonic plague and all that shit all the time, or you know, the New York City rat brings disease. I mean, it's all, you know, it's just like green iguanas or killing crocodiles and stuff or whatever.
It's all old propaganda. I mean, right? We all have to deal with that with crocs, snakes, everything, you know? Like, yes,
it's ridiculous.
Is there a natural fear? Marissa, you're an educated person here. I'm not. You're a doctor, so I'm going to ask you. Is there a scientific term? Now, I know the scientific term for snake fear, but is there a natural fear of crocodiles? Like, so snake fear is ophidiophobia. That's like a natural fear. Like, you know, hydrophobia, etc. Is there something for crocodiles? Do we know?
I have never heard of one, like a scientific term for a phobia of crocs. No.
I just wonder if there is one, if they develop it, because, you know, in the old days, you know, the villagers and stuff like that, they were terrified of them, you know?
I mean, but again, it depends culturally, because like with the Maya, even some of the Maya today, they're like, oh yeah, we go swimming in between the crocs. Like, not a big deal. It's like just swimming in between fish. So
well, usually Americans are pretty docile. I don't know about more. In Florida, they are. They're pretty laid back.
I mean, the Morelettes. So one thing I was telling some during some research in the last couple of weeks was someone was asking me like, oh, aren't you scared to go in the water? And one thing we've noticed is that the crocs in very isolated areas in Belize, where they rarely see a human, that's when they will be like, who the fuck are you? And they'll come approach you and like, I would not want to get in that water. But those where they're used to seeing people, they'll just go ahead and just swim away. They're like super timid and shy. Like, again, we'll jump in the water with them, you know, like just not even a 12, 13 footer. Like, I mean, Miriam was all about that. She just jumped in the water, like 13 footer, try to snare it. So.
Wow,
and that probably was good for the croc because it scared the hell out of it. So the next person tries to snare it, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah, Miriam's badass. I really had a good time with her.
Yeah,
she's fun people, really awesome. The whole crew down there was a lot of fun. That was really a lot of fun. I was telling Joe he doesn't have to get on a puddle jumper You know, I told him we can go to Belize City. Belize City now. I told you, man. But up where Marissa lived was really nice.
Yes, yes. I mean, Belize City it's got its issues in some areas, like any big city,
The
right?
only person safe there would be her. Be around 10. I'm just saying. But you don't have to get that. We went down. We spent a lot of times. Dude, Flavio looks like a psychopath. They give no fucks. You just look at him and you know, listen, this guy's a serial killer. He's killed everyone. We're not going to fuck with him. He's here for a reason.
I can't remember if you were on this trip or if this was one of the other times that Flavio came. No. Oh, this is when we transported Sam and Gilly from like Belize Zoo area down to us. You and
Flavio thing.
Yeah. And so anyways, you know, Flavio has his shirt off. We're driving back to my house. We're on the main highway and we see a turtle crossing. So I was like, oh, you know, like, let's pull over so we can, you know, save the turtle, you know, help it over. And Flavio gets out of the car, no shirt, and starts literally running down the highway because we had passed the turtle. And he's going like this. And there's a big semi truck, just like you see this, like, white,
crazy,
shirtless man driving it or like running in the middle of the highway
trying to
stop these trucks. And I was laughing so hard I couldn't get my phone, but it was so funny. I was just like, and I feel like that just describes Flavio. Like when he comes to Belize, he just does something super random, and it's always without his shirt.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He always was like that. You know. He'd had no shoes on one night. We were going through Arizona with probably 15 felonies worth of marijuana in the car. We flew into Vegas. We went to a dispensary, and we came out of there looking like Santa with sacks over our backs. I mean, it was going to be the trip of a lifetime. So we're going to drive from Vegas to Arizona. And it was me, Jimmy's wife, Justin, Charlie, Brian Love, and Flavio. And so he's flying through this fucking area at night in a 35 doing 90. I told him, bro, we're gonna get popped. No shit did we get pulled over. I'm like, fuck. And what does Charlie do? If she didn't do shit, it wouldn't have made no difference. But she's like, hey, what are we gonna do with all this flour? And she opened the bag. Now the whole car smells like we just took a whole harvest of marijuana. It was so thick it wouldn't even have to be lit to make you stoned. So I'm like, why'd you open the fucking bag? Justin's like, you open the bag? And so cop's like, can you get out of the car? Flavio goes, yeah. And he jumps out of the car with coffee, barefoot, walking back. Like, I'm like, he's trying to get us to get arrested. He's trying to get us to go to jail. And I hear him back there, and they're like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, we do these crocodile trips, and we're going to go here. We're going to go see, I do crocodile training, and you hear all this stuff. And we're on this tour, and one of the cops like, oh, yeah, my kid watched that. He's like, oh, yeah, with this and that. And, oh, this. And it went to this thing. We got in the car with a warning. Because he's a psychopath. Hands down.
His recent fanny pack wears like a hairy
stomach. I love
the
it.
belly.
After our rock and roll shows.
God,
are you going to come to Florida for the Motley Crue show and stuff?
When?
Oh God, when is it? It's like the end of this month, isn't it, Joe? I think. Ricky, I know you're watching. When is it? You got tickets, motherfucker. When's it up? Ricky Martin will tell us. We'll see here.
Ricky Martin.
I love Ricky Martin. You haven't got to meet him yet? You will.
But like, yeah, when Flavio was in town, it was Flavio the Bigfoot of Police.
I'm telling you, he's gonna show up on Paranormal Con on camera one of these times. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Just watch. It'll be Flavio. It'll be Flavio.
We have such a good time with that. You just have to be ready because there's always something really weird going on with that. I mean, because I got to relate with him. I get really bored too. There's not a lot I can do, and I don't understand. Like Flavio does not comprehend just being normal. He doesn't understand that either, and so you don't find that a lot. So like we can do stuff together, and we'll see something at the same time, and you want to make fun of it or talk about it, and most people would get offended. Like they just get offended. So, for instance, we were talking about this one place we were at. I'm not going to say where it was, but there was a particular part, and this baby was 9 months old, and the mother put it down on the ground, and this bird in the petting zoo pecked its eye and popped its eyeball.
Oh my God.
Okay. I thought, now, okay, disclaimer. The baby's fine. It was okay. It got fixed. It popped the eye, a little juice or whatever. And I thought to myself, what kind of a stupid person would put a 9-month-old on the ground inside of a petting zoo where there's all kinds of animals, right? So we were laughing that the bird just didn't picked out his eye, and somebody got really upset at us because we were talking about a child who got his eye picked. Who? So what? It's not your kid. It's better them than you. Now, why are you getting worked up? It's not your kid. It's an idiot. If anybody should be worked up, it should be the kid. When he gets older, you got to punch that person in the face for doing that to him when they're 9 months old. So we get stuff like that all the time. I mean, I've seen just, I see that stuff, and I think it's funny to me.
It's quiet.
You're laughing too, Marissa. It's funny.
It's quiet.
No, I'm laughing at the two moms were like,
oh yeah, no, I know. I'm like, no.
That's why I'm laughing.
No.
There was this one time. I'll tell you some other time, Marissa. I won't do it on the air because it's not about me, so I can't do it. But I'm just saying, there's just a lot of shit like that, that I find humorous. I mean.
Well, everybody has their
thing. I think
thing.
we're supposed to laugh at it, man. Like nobody wants to laugh at somebody that they don't want to make. Oh, don't make. I mean,
I don't know if that's like on that. That's like that fine line.
There's no fine line. If I'm standing somewhere and I'm like, let's just say, and for everybody who has one, I don't care.
Like the
when you're saying, say you're in fine line. You're at Universal Studios, okay? And someone brings their kid in and he has Tourette's. And he's yelling the most obscene things in line, I'm going to fucking laugh. I don't care. I cannot not laugh at that. That's not right.
So that's not right. I have a bad issue when I see people fall, like, depending on what happens.
I laugh too.
I love you. He shit in police, and I cried for 5 minutes.
Troy and I were raised that way. We when people get hurt, we laugh. We were raised.
That's how my parents raised us.
We were raised to laugh. Yeah.
But I mean, I remember this one time we were up in the mall, years ago, probably like 14, and this kid with Tourette's came in. He was real weird. He was holding his hands like this. He's real loud. And he walks up to this old lady and goes, I fucking hate your old gray hair. You fucking bitch. And I was looking around the room like, oh, my wife's like, don't fucking do this. I couldn't. I had to leave. He walked right through. He's like, you fucking bitch, right in her face. I mean, how do you not laugh at that? How do you not laugh at that?
Oh my God.
Look at you guys are laughing.
No comment.
Because
I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. It's your, and if anybody's been with you in those situations, which I have many a time,
always happens to me.
I literally am like, oh no, why is this happening with Troyer?
Yep.
Troy is gonna laugh, and it's
to
gonna be so embarrassing. Oh my God, it does only happen to you. I don't know how or why those things. It's like it follows you. He can be in the middle, and then Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. He'd be in like the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden that type of stuff will unfold with just Troy being there. And it is the craziest stuff that shouldn't happen. This is like stuff that hits the news, like Florida man, like that type of stuff happens. And then Troy happens to be there to see it happen. And it's like, don't say anything, Troy, please. Because his comedic skills kick in. And then he starts laughing, and Troy has this contagious laugh that it's like, I'm not laughing at you. I'm really, swear to God, I'm laughing with my brother.
Yeah, but why is it wrong? Why is it wrong to laugh?
It just depends.
It's like, not wrong.
My humor isn't the same humor as what you would find funny.
Like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm
not even mad at you.
Oh, this person's less fortunate than me. I'm going to fucking be mean. I'm never going to do that. But sometimes the shit's funny to me. I mean.
And I'm sure if you probably talk to the parents, they probably have had episodes with him where they laughed because they couldn't believe at that very moment it unfolded the way it did. You know what I mean? I'm sure they have to find joy in those moments too.
His parents look like they didn't give a fuck. They're like, come on, Jeremiah, we told you not to talk like that. And I'm looking for cameras. Man, there's some MTV shit in here. Somebody's punking us today because it was way too weird. He just had his fingers. And he's like, I'm fucking in her face. You fucking bitch. Like Sam Kinison. And I just start laughing because, and if Flavio's there, I would have died. I'll tell you a story. So his daughter got mad at me. I'll tell this story in the air because Devin watches. She'll remember. So we were at we were at a particular hotel. And we were doing an animal exhibit there. And this place outside happened to have a pool outside. So some countries, they don't believe in manicuring themselves. Right? So this dad comes in and this girl, and she's probably 13. And we're all at like face length, and she walks up to the table, and it looked like she grabbed Cookie Monster and shoved them in her bikini bottom. And I was trying to refrain from not saying a thing, and Devin was there, and I look at Devin, and I saw her face. She's like this, and I go, I'm just so glad your dad's not here right now, because I would not be able to contain myself, right? And she turns on and goes, that's because you and my dad are assholes. They can look like that if they want. It's men like you that pressure them. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? And that was the only time she ever got mad at me, but it was just saying because if Flavio was there, he would have said something. Like, oh, this is a tarantula, and this is he would have done that to me. He would have done me like that.
Oh my God.
He would have did that to me. And that's what we talk about in the show. Like, nothing to hide. I'm not saying I didn't laugh. I laughed. I'm not perfect. I laughed. And if Marissa was sitting there and saw that, she would laugh too. If you were sitting next to me and someone walked up, oh my God, it's so cool, and the whiskers are on the table and there's an alligator there, you would fucking die. You wouldn't even. I would just have to get up and leave. I would have to walk away.
Judging by her laugh crack, like as she goes to laugh, there's a crack in her voice. I'm gonna go with the yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Joe. You've seen it too. You know what I mean.
I laugh. I don't care.
I laugh too because if I would want someone to laugh at me, I wouldn't care. But everybody's like, "Oh, that's wrong." Why is it wrong? I mean, it's not. You're not. You know. I don't know. That's why me and Flavio.
It's not wrong
because he laughs at that shit. And the stuff we send each other, I'm going to start forwarding to Marissa.
It's not wrong.
Dimension.
It's not wrong. Everybody has their own humor, and there are hypersensitive people out there.
Yes.
That are like, oh my God, why would you say that? And then they like get all mad about it, and it's like, and I had friends like that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry that you have issues. It ain't on me. That was fun. I don't care who you are, and I'm fine with saying that out loud. Like, that was fun. I don't care who you are. It shouldn't upset you, especially like if you know everybody that we're wrong with. Troy, you're not weird.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with you. It is normal. There's humor in everything. If Johnny Knoxville was on the show tonight, he'd be agreeing with you, and he's made millions off of being outlandishly hilarious on this stuff. It's just life. It happens.
There was a trip that happened when and I know there's like the secret watchers and stuff, so we'll get back. So it was me and so me and Lewis were sitting in this minivan side by side together, and somebody
wait before you continue, I gotta go because I got students coming in soon.
Well, go have fun with your students, and thank you for coming.
I'm gonna continue listening, but
okay. Well, you'll hear the story, but thank you for hanging out. I loved it.
Yeah.
Bye. Still daylight there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Callie.
It's like gonna be 6.
Holy fuck! It's night. That's crazy. That's so cool. Well, it's dark here. Just the way I like it. We'll see you.
And you're wearing a jacket outside, probably in 100-degree weather.
It's so cold. It's so cold. It might be like 71.
Oh, really?
No, I remember in down there in LA, it get down to 60, 59, 60 at night down there.
Yeah, it's good.
If not colder, yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
But it was 80 degrees today, and I had a long sleeve shirt.
You're so ridiculous. See, I would laugh.
Well, it's a different kind of heat, though. California's a different kind of heat, though. It's way different than Florida heat. It's dry heat. And then when you feel a breeze in Cali, you're like, ooh, where'd that come from? Like, it gets
dry heat.
It's true. It is true.
Well, anyways, you have a really good time. I'll see you, Marissa. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Marissa.
Bye.
So, yeah, me and Lewis were in the car together, and Flavio was driving. I think Nate was with us, and I forget who else was in the car, but he found this Jurassic Park video, and I know I've sent it to Jimmy a couple times, but him and I laughed at that video so much I got nauseous. We laughed so hard I almost passed out, both of us. And every time he would play it, we couldn't even breathe. And he will remember, if you ask him, the Jurassic Park video and the Croc. Never again. And that I will never forget that video, and I will send it to you later, Joe. I have that. I will never forget it. It was, and you want to talk about who the fuck comes up with shit like that? But it was Jurassic Park video. You will remember it. We laughed so hard. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Who was years ago when we were in LA working with Discovery and stuff, and we were in the hotel with Steve, you guys were watching a video and you had me up. You guys were up to like 4 a.m. watching the same group of people. Who were those guys? They did like comedy sketch scenes. Troy and Steve would be up crying and not being able to breathe. Who are they? I mean, like, and then it got to the point where I like memorized the skits, and I like, and it was so funny watching these two just cry laughing so hard.
Benny said 2022, no whiskers on the table. That was 2017 when that happened. So I've been no whiskers on the table for a long time. What's up, Ange? Party people, what's going on? It's good to see you. Oh my God, Troy, Britt, you laugh. Yeah. Damn, we got to that part. Isn't that funny? Yeah. No whiskers on the table, man. No whiskers on the table. And look, no matter who you are, if you're going to press your genitalia into things, make sure people aren't watching because it is funny.
Because it's funny.
It a lot. It is. So Joe knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
People do weird shit, man. If you watch people long enough, they do weird shit. They pick at themselves and stuff. It's weird.
You should go on an investigation at night with people on paranormal stuff because they think you're in your dark and they don't think you can see what's going on. But
I would love that. Let's do it.
We can see. You are on a night vision camera.
I want to go do. When are we going to get back out into that?
It's not dark. Well, it was cool because Jimmy actually introduced us over the weekend to the one location, so that was really cool. So I want to get back up there and do that.
I have a great time with them.
Yeah, they were wonderful to talk to.
Fuck yeah, we have a good time. He hears me too. He's like, oh, I know what you're talking about because he heard me saying something there. He knows. He's like, oh, Jimmy. I go, yeah, Jimmy was fucking railroaded, man. He's like this. Said he wanted to kill me the next day, though. He's like, oh, poor guy. He knew.
That's awesome.
He knew. But yeah, so they're good. I think we'll have a good time over there. I think they'll be real up to us. I'd love to go, Jimmy, whenever you're ready. And I know Joe would too.
Well, I think didn't he explain? Didn't you guys go over?
Yeah, he said something about March. He was doing something in March. He was going to give me that.
March would be weekdays, April weekends.
Right.
March weekdays. Okay.
Weekdays are fine for me. I'd rather come up like on a Monday or something. There's not a lot of people out.
That's what they were saying, like a Monday or whatever it was. I don't remember. Maybe I have it backwards. Weekend, Saturday, Sunday, maybe in March, and then weekdays in April. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask him. I told him he could reach out to me to get my info from you, but. Anyway, that's when that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do it. I think it'll be a good time.
And we need to host a couple. I think we need to host a really good real investigation. We're talking about putting it together with Y&I Tours for sure. So, if people do want to come. Now, when we do this kind of stuff, it's not like a handout stuff. It's real investigation and stuff like that. We will go into some really interesting places, and there is equipment, and it is a trip that you have to, it's not a free thumb for all. It's not a free for all. Understand that you have to. It's just like any other kind of trip you'd have to pay for. You have to come to get in, and the reason we do that is we'll take care of everything and supply it and all that type of stuff. So we're going to do that through Y&I Tours, and we're going to do some really cool haunted stuff, which will give us time to do work, and then people who are interested in it can really come out and see. Because you're not going to get access to some of the things that we are able to get access to. And it's just not going to happen. You're just not going to be able to do it. So if you want to do those types of things and really come and see, and like, I don't work with equipment. Some people like equipment. I don't work with equipment, but it's good to have people so they can have a verification there and be able to hear and use stuff. So,
well, and I think too, if you do equipment overload, it's really going to affect your night. And I think even for people coming on, like if you're going to come and hang out and learn, don't try and bring like, well, I heard I can have like 6 REM pods in one area. No, come on. That's all. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need all this stuff. It's going to happen.
Brittany, if you don't move, it looks like you got cat ears on your head from,
retro, like, right. Hold on. Right. Wait. Hold on. Let me line it up. There you go.
There it is right there.
Hey, everybody.
It's a little crown.
It is like
Miss America.
Yeah, a little crown.
Hi, everyone. You're welcome. Thank you for having me tonight. You're welcome.
That's
messed
but yeah, I really think we ought to start doing some of that. I'm sure people want to do that. And I think a lot of people want to hang out with Joe, too. He's pretty popular, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like,
I was shocked when I turned the corner and saw Joe. I was like, I know that guy.
Joe, you're fucking hilarious, bro. Yeah, people would dig to hang out with you, bro. Trust me. Oh man!
Thank you.
Yes, I do remember that, Ange. I do. Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. No. So I think we definitely need to get back out. We definitely need to. I want people to have a real experience. I mean, there's the EVP recorders are great. There's something else that I think is really important too when you use like a SB7, which is a spirit box or like basically an FM AM radio that's been spliced to where
people
it
are
just
going to tune off.
scans.
These people are fucking crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that you can get really like, you almost kind of go, what did that just say? Like you can't. So you actually have somebody that'll go in what they call a blackout zone, right? So you put on like a mask. They go into a headpiece that's connected strictly to the SB7, and they are repeating out loud what the sentence is and what words are coming out. And then you'll have someone in the team that's basically logging it. And by doing that, you're removing any other senses or anything else away from the person listening, and they're solely listening on the voice. And when you know you have a spirit is when you're actually looking at your device, like your AM/FM radio, and it's scanning. You're going to see it scanning through multiple like different AM stations or FM station, mostly AM. Yeah. You wanted to make sure that that same voice carries through multiple stations. If it's carrying through multiple stations in a long sentence, you're talking to an entity or somebody on the other side. If you only hear like like they do, that means you're tapping into a signal. But when it actually carries through like hello, like Jimmy about like freaks, he goes, I heard your name. Because there was one time when it was on, it was like, hi, Brittany. And it went through. And that they actually make shirts on that. If you've heard your name, you've made a level up in the paranormal. Like when you hear your name, you're officially, a paranormal investigator. And there's multiple times I've heard my name. But when you hear it come through, it's actually scanning over multiple signals, which means there's an entity using the energy from the white noise, scanning it through. Stop playing with my crown. So that's when you know you're dealing with something. So like you're not going to get that when you're dealing with all these other devices. And let me tell you something, EMF readers are great, but even a frequency just moving through our Earth's atmosphere will set that off. So it's not always a spirit. And that's why they're always like, oh, but it's reacting on command. Maybe it's not. It could just be coincidence. So for me, I don't always agree in using those. And a lot of paranormal investigators will hate me for saying that, but I'm very old school. There are other techniques, and your body is probably one of the best REM pods ever, because we feel energy that we don't realize that we feel. So I don't think you need to overload with a lot of equipment. Now, there are other things you can bring to help kind of energize the room, like turning on water. You're going to bring a lot more electric currency into that house by turning on water or to the facility than having any device. And it can't drain it because water is a natural electrical current. So that's always things that to keep in mind in any paranormal investigation.
I didn't know that.
That's
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of locations that are around water or around like a constant flow of a river force, you'll actually get a high frequency force come through that area. So you'll get traveling souls, traveling spirits coming in.
So like that Ma Barker house, it was transported on the same lake. So where it's sitting now is not where, of course it happened, but it was literally pushed right into the lake, floated, and brought back up on the bank on the other side of the lake. So it's off of the same body of water. So it's literally probably, I don't know, 50 to 75 feet, maybe a little further from.
Why didn't they just leave it where it was?
That's pretty great.
I'm not sure why they didn't leave it. They probably wanted to bulldoze it down after all the shit that happened there, I would imagine.
Okay.
But it's so historical.
Saved it. I know.
Yeah, don't do that. That's historical.
Pristine. Just
awesome.
Wait till we get there. It's absolutely pristine, and it's pretty cool.
Well, and like I said, I mentioned when I was discussing it with them too, I want to bring my black light to show you where the blood is, because that is extremely important in any type of investigation like that, because you don't know what other remnants have been left behind. Yeah, and the black light will show that. No, I knew you were going to take it that way. That's not where I was going with that. What I'm saying is that with the black light, though, in those areas, in some cases there's, and this is going to sound really weird for people listening, but you can actually get like fingerprints or handprints remaining from where like the blood or whatever, or the oils in the body were imprinted in the woods or in the grains and things like that. So that will pick that stuff up too, which is really cool. And then the dowsing rods will show you where other blood may have been spilled, because it's got iron in it, and the iron still resonates within the area. So,
okay.
So there's all these little cool techniques you can try, that people immediately go, well, I need to bring in my 25A27 S box 5. And it's like, can you take that home? we don't need all this stuff.
I don't have any of that. We have a Brittany, so we're good to go.
That's box 5. I honestly, we're coming into the last minute of the show, but I like doing stuff with Jimmy, because he, for some reason, man, he just brings shit around him all the time. So he doesn't even realize it. But I remember when even Mike was like, oh, well, we'll just get the sensitive guy, because he's bringing a bunch of shit, and he did. So I think there's some sort of comfortability with you. I think that allows that to happen. That's why you feel so much shit. But that's why I like Jimmy around, because he's like a magnet to it.
I think Jimmy is more open than he realizes. He's not aware of it yet.
I'm definitely not aware of it. I feel it, some of it, not all of it. I don't even feel things everywhere, but I do feel certain things, but I don't see like what you guys see. So,
well, I'll tell you what, man, it takes a little time to work that out, because you got to get over yourself. That's what I had to do, because you got to stop thinking, trying to logically think it like, man, there's no way that just happened like that. And then the more you fight it, then when you start letting it happen, things start happening a little weird. It's pretty strange stuff. I mean, I can't tell you what's real or what's not. There's some really strange things out there that people just can't explain. And I like being in the middle of it. I don't know. It's a neat thing to see. And I see a lot more than I say too, believe me.
Well, and they say too, if you hear ringing in your ear, you know how like the old wise tale was someone's talking about you, but it's actually it's called leveling up. So when you hear ringing in your ear, it's your spirituality and your sensitivity to things leveling up, which means you're increasing in your sensitivity of the things around you. So it's not somebody talking about you. Yeah.
Every once in a while you hear a strong ringing, right? You're like, me.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was told it's called leveling up, because I get them quite a bit, and it's called
I'm going to look into
up.
that then. I've had them happen a few times. I never thought about it like that though. Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty cool.
Hey, Troy, remember too, you and I were talking to Flavio. Remember you said why not tours? You guys going to do your ghost stuff, but remember we're planning that trip to Belize too, possibly.
Yes, we are.
In May 9th through the 13th. So we'll post some stuff about that, and you know it is going to be an all. You know, you pay. Everything's included. It's going to be a lot. We're going to do some Croc stuff and some historical stuff and some nightlife stuff. So it's a trip of pretty much everything. So
that's
we used to do them a lot. Things changed a little bit, and then all I can say is often imitated, never duplicated. So at the end of the day, man, if you guys really want to go out there, there really is not like going with certain people, and you know, there's just some people that are part of it that you just want to have around, and I think that's what makes some of the tours that we do really good, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I think that's going to be a good thing. It's not like a normal trip, believe me. Well, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyways, I appreciate you all coming out and watching us tonight on the Motley Croc Show, as you always do. All the support is greatly appreciated. So just share it out there and let people see it. And if you want to come in or you got comments or anything you want to say, let's hear one last comment here. You all should go to the Instant Lights in Texas. We should. I'm not even against that at all. I can take you guys where I saw Maya. Awesome. I hope you guys do that too.
Yeah.
Corey said, see ya. Yeah, Corey, I'll see you this week. And I appreciate everybody coming in and checking us out and hanging out. We love having you, and I love seeing all of you guys. So thanks again for coming to the show. We're going to go ahead and jump off, and we are ending for the night. Goodbye.